Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how to make xiao or soup dumplings. These aren't your normal soup dumplings, these are filled with birria, a Mexican beef stew from Jalisco, Mexico. Let's start by making the dumpling wrappers. This is different from my other video that's a hot water wrapper. These are warm water, so I use half boiling water and half room temperature water. This is going to give you a nice stretch when you're making the dumplings. Once the water is mixed into the dough, I put it onto the cutting board and start kneading it for about 5 minutes. If the dough feels a little wet, you can always sprinkle in a little more flour. It's always easier to add flour versus water when you're making your doughs. When your dough is nice and smooth, we just want to form it into a ball and place it in a mixing bowl. Then cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for 30 minutes. I just cut the dough in half and make 2 logs out of it. Then we're going to weigh to 15 grams a piece. Let's start by taking out the seeds of the chilies. I'm using Guajillo and California chilies, but you can use any dried chilies that you like. Cover the chilies with boiling water to rehydrate and let sit for about 15 minutes. Now we can start making our broth by caramelizing our carrots, onions, and garlic. I don't go too heavy on the spices, so we're just going to add some clove, black pepper, kosher salt, ground cumin, and ground coriander. I'm going to add in 1 chipotle to give a little smokiness to the sauce, and then we can add in our rehydrated chilies. I'm using chicken stock because that's what I had at my house, but you can also make this with beef stock. This is Maggi seasoning. It's like liquid MSG, and it's a nice way to enhance the flavor of the dish. We're also going to add in some Mexican oregano. After it's simmered for about 15 minutes and the vegetables get tender, puree it smooth and then just add it back into the pan. Traditionally, birria is made with goat, but we're going to make birria de res, so we're going to use oxtail and boneless beef short ribs. Then you just need to let the meat simmer for about 2 to 3 hours or until the meat's nice and tender. This is what you're looking for. You should be able to just push it with a spoon and it should fall apart. To make the soup part of the soup dumpling, we need to strain out the broth and then we're going to skim off all the fat. But don't throw the fat away, we're going to use that for something else later on. Then we just need to add some gelatin into our broth. This is going to make sure that it sets up nice and firm. Once the meat's cooled down, I just like to chop it up a little bit to make sure that it's going to fit into the dumpling. Once your broth is chilled, you should be able to pick it up in one big sheet. We just need to cut it into squares and then add it to our chopped up beef. To make the dumpling wrapper, flatten out the dough ball and roll it into a circle using your rolling pin. This is the tricky part of making the dumpling. You want to take your rolling pin and put it into the center of the dumpling and then roll on the way out. You're just doing this to thin out the edges a little bit, so when you pinch them together, it's not going to be really thick on dough. Add the filling, and then to make the dumpling, you just want to start pleating and pinching all the way around. Then when you get to the end of the dumpling, I like to pinch it together to make sure that it's fully sealed. These just need to steam for a few minutes to make sure that the wrappers are fully cooked. And remember I said save the fat for something for later, so what I did was I mixed in a little bit of lime juice and cilantro. This is kind of the essence of birria, is that fat on top. Then we just need to put the dumplings on a plate. I'll leave a full recipe for everything in the info box, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell. A little bit of radish and cilantro to garnish. And here we go, birria soup dumplings. They're unctuous, fatty, juicy. It's everything that you want in birria, but in a soup dumpling. Thanks for watching my video on how to make birria soup dumplings. See you next time.